Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Irvin, with another manga chapter review. This is going to be on Mission Yozakura Family Chapter 5. You can read this through Shonen Jump, either on their website or their app now. I think as of time of recording, all five first chapters are free, so you don't have to have an account with them or even pay a subscription to read them for free. Now that does change eventually when there's more chapters, but for now, every single chapter is for free. So make sure you go check it out in their application or their website. So this chapter was a pretty good chapter, to be honest, and it really did a great job in introducing weaknesses compared to chapter 4. But before I continue, though, I do want to say a few things. One, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button if you guys don't mind, and you'll be notified when I go live, when I upload videos. Also, you guys can become a Patreon if you guys want to further support me, or you guys can donate in other different ways if you would like to as well. Secondly, guys, I do want to invite you guys to go check out the first 4 chapter videos on this series because I have already 4 of them out. And then lastly, make sure you guys know that there's a spoiler alert to this chapter because I will talk about it in some detail. So again, the 5th chapter compared to the 4th chapter was not lighthearted. The 4th chapter was very lighthearted and kind of let's have fun in school, slice of life type of chapter. This one took a whole 180 turn and completely flipped around the tension in the anime itself. We follow at this point. We follow Taiyo, I believe his name is. Yeah, it is Taiyo. Taiyo, he is basically abducted. He wakes up. That's basically the first page. He wakes up in a dark room, handcuffed and in a chair, and then he remembers that he was at home reading a magazine about spies, and he was abducted. He was taken away, and now he woke up there. So he frees himself. He has apparently a needle hidden under fake skin in his hand, so he's able to undo the handcuffs. And then he gets out of the room. There's a guard there, obviously, and puts a gun right behind his head. And he also uses a technique that he learned to disarm him through the spy training that his family members are putting him through. And then after that, he hears voices around the corner, so he dislocates his arm to go through some vents. Pretty crazy thing. He ends up in this plant room, puts back his arm into peace, and then realizes that he's in a room with someone else. This other person seems familiar to him, and he quickly realizes that he was in the Spy magazine, one of the top spies that there is right now in the country. And he simply tells them that where is Mitsumi? Have they taken her and stuff like that? And he kind of just says, I'm not here to answer your questions. Go back to the room or there'll be consequences. And yeah, essentially, through their conversation and through just their interaction, we quickly figure out that Taiyo, even though in chapter 4 he was showing great improvement and massive amount of strength and intelligence, this guy by far surpasses what Taiyo is at this point. So we quickly see that Taiyo, even though we're seeing him to be a better spy, is not there yet. I will come back to that because there's something I want to talk about that eventually. Let me just finish the synopsis of this chapter. Eventually, Mutsumi comes in the room, and before Taiyo's hurt, Mutsumi turns herself in and says, "You want me, don't you?" And she explains the entire story. Essentially, what we saw in chapter 4 was kind of all planned by these people. They hired this teacher because, one, she had no trace into the clan of their group, and 2, they knew that she was going to she was going to take away the ring, and that gave them a small window for them to take and steal the information from the ring, which they did. Right before Taiyo came into the room and stole the safe. So, in all that, they knew what they needed to go for, and that was Taiyo, because they still couldn't get Mutsumi because even though they're one of the greatest clans and greatest groups of spies there is in the country, they still can't go through the security that Musumi has around her. So they went to the easiest leverage, which was her husband, Tayo. So yeah, she turned herself in. Tayo got sent back to the mansion. Wakes up in the room with his brother Ichiro. Ichiro's the big brother, and he basically tells him, "You're not ready. You need more training. We have 3 days to go rescue her, and you need to get yourself into training." And before Tayo would have not talked, or maybe be scared, or uh, maybe go against Ichiro. But at this point, he just says, "You're right. I'm weak. I saw that, and I want to go into training with you." And that's really it. That's the end of that chapter. They give him basically a window of 3 days, and that's it. So probably the next chapter, chapter 6, is going to be them rescuing Mitsumi. I did like this chapter a lot because it gives us a little bit more of a story of how dangerous the situation is for Mitsumi in reality. I also like the whole fact, and going back to that point that I said that I was going to come back to, Tayo is not one of those characters that is just overpowering and the most powerful person in the series, and he just didn't know that. That's kind of what it felt when I read chapter 4, was they were taking his inner strength out, and he was gonna end up being super strong, like what we see in a lot of shonens. We see that in Dragon Ball, we see that in Bleach, we see that in Naruto, we see that in My Hero Academia, we see that in Black Clover, we see that even if the lesser known shonen like Blue Exorcist and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought not Ichiro, I thought Tayo was going to end up like that, being like, oh, he just took 1 day of training and now he's super strong. But no, they're actually are pinpointing that he's weak, that he is not up to level. So I do appreciate that. That adds more of a human aspect to Tayo, as well as human aspect to the family itself. Mutsumi herself turned herself in, which I think is awesome, because that also shows that she also has a sweet side to her, that she does like Tayo, that she is in love with him, and also shows that the family itself has a soft side for Tayo as well, because they would have let her do what she wanted, because they're protecting her, obviously. So, and Ichiro wasn't really mad at Tayo. He basically told him that was part of the plan. So, oh well. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell button if you guys don't mind, and be notified when I go live when I upload videos. Thank you guys so much for your love and support that you've shown this channel already. If you guys want to further support me, you guys can become a Patreon or support me through other means of donations. Best one is Super Chat whenever I'm live. So, yeah, anyways, thank you guys again for your love and support. If you haven't checked out the other chapter reviews, go check them out now. Thank you again, and like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.